quality control is of utmost necessity in audit and to the auditing firms. Now, the parameters and aspects of quality control are given in SQC 1 and SA 220. Starting with the difference between SQC 1 and SA 220. SQC1 is quality control for firms that perform audits and reviews of historical financial information and other assurance and related service engagements. That means SQC1 is applicable to the entire firm which performs the audit engagements or other assurance engagements, whereas SA220 talks about the quality control for an audit of financial statements, meaning it is applicable only to a particular audit engagement. Starting with SQC1, this is applicable for audit engagements, review engagements, other assurance engagements, and related services. SQC1 suggests that firms should establish a system wherein firm and personnel both comply with professional standards and legal requirements and issue a report appropriate in the circumstances. Now, there are six elements of this system, that is, leadership responsibilities, ethical requirements, acceptance and continuance of client relationship, human resources, engagement performance, and monitoring. If we have to start with the leadership responsibilities, it suggests that policies and procedures should be formed to ensure quality is essential, and the persons assigned should have necessary experience, ability, and authority to perform the task given. And the leader should ensure that leader should ensure three things. First, that commercial consideration should not override the quality. Now, what does this mean? Like, if the fees or commercial consideration which is being paid is lower, is very low, then the leader might not get enough motivation to work proper and provide proper quality to the work. And this should not happen. That means the leader may perform poor on account of less fees. That would be the scenario which should be avoided. Second, policies and procedures for performance evaluation, compensation, and promotion should be framed. For whom? For the personnel who are working. If the personnel keeps on working and working and working, and if there is no performance evaluation or not proper compensation is given, or the policies for promotion are not there, then the quality may deteriorate. And the third one is to devote sufficient resources for quality control procedures such as development, documentation, and support. The second element, ethical requirements, provides that policies and procedures should be framed to ensure compliance with Code of Ethics issued by ICAI. That is your professional ethics, PE. And this Code of Ethics gives the fundamental principles, which are integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional competence and due care, and professional behavior. Now, these policies and procedures which are framed should emphasize by actions of leadership, spreading awareness and training, monitoring, and a process of dealing with non-compliance. Also, the independence should be conveyed, and the policies and procedures should be there. There should be an ability to express an opinion without being affected by the influences. This is what independence means. And the independence should be communicated as per the requirements, and the circumstances which causes threat to the independence should be identified, communicated, and appropriate action should be taken to eliminate such threats. For example, there can be a familiarity threat, and the safeguard depends on the nature of engagement as well as the length of service. So, in this case, safeguard can be the rotation of personnel or the duties that are assigned to the personnel. Now, the third element is acceptance or continuance of the client relationship. So, before accepting or continuing any client relationship, any engagement, the auditor should check integrity of the owners, managers, KMP, etc. And the competence to perform engagement. The auditor should be competent enough to perform the task on hand. And the third is compliance with ethical requirements. He should be able to comply with all the ethical requirements. If he is not able to comply with this ethical requirements, he should not accept the uh, clientele relationship. And the auditor has to document all these 3 points and frame policies and procedures for withdrawal, that in case if any condition is breached, like if he is not able to comply with any ethical requirements or his competence is far gone, then the engagement partner should be able to withdraw by discussing the same with management and TCWG. And where withdrawal is possible, he should withdraw after discussions and providing ample reasons. And the professional, legal, or regulatory responsibilities to report the same should be performed by the auditor and documented. The fourth element is human resources. It says the firm should have policies and procedures which aim to have human resources or the engagement team that have ample competence, capability, and commitment. This HR policies should basically have the training policy, recruitment policy, compensation, and performance development policies. The engagement partner should identify and I, the identity and the role of the engagement partner should be provided to the client, and the competence, capabilities, and authority should be there within the engagement partner to perform the engagement. And the responsibilities are clearly defined is also essential, because if the responsibilities are not defined, then the personnel may get confused that what are their responsibilities and what they are supposed to perform. The fifth element is engagement performance. So the consistency in quality is required so that every engagement is performed in consistent and qualitative manner. The engagement partner should brief the engagement team about the objectives, performance, engagement standards, supervision, training, review, and about the documentation. Now, while performing the engagement, if there are any contentious or difficult matters, the engagement team should take the consultation from an expert, which is from within or outside the firm, and consultant should have knowledge on the technical, ethical, and other matters. If he does not have ample knowledge, then how would he brief or how would he provide the consultation, right? So he should have this knowledge, ethical and technical, and on other matters as well. And in last, the engagement team should document what was the issue, how has it been resolved, and what are the results. There should be quality control review. Now, the quality control review is mandatory for listed companies. And what do we mean by quality control review? So, basically, a reviewer, an external reviewer who is not from the engagement team, will review the judgments of the auditor and the engagement team and will check the complexity of the risk. Now, you basically may think that auditor himself is external person to the firm for which the audit is being performed. Then what would this quality control reviewer would do? So the quality control reviewer would perform the same task as performed by auditor, which is to make judgments, to check if there is any fraudulent or error which are present in the financial statements and which has been missed out by the auditor, or the auditor has been ethical or not, and the firm has been independent or not. This all things are being reviewed by the quality control reviewer. And where there is a difference of opinion within the engagement team and the consultant or the quality control reviewer, any of these three have a conflict of opinion or difference of opinion, then the report should not be issued unless the difference has been resolved, the issue has been resolved, or and if the issue is unresolved after the long discussions and everything, then the firm should resolve the issue as per the firm's policies. And lastly, There should be documentation for everything. And the documentation, whatever the documents are there, it should be retained for 7 years. The assembling of audit files should be done within the 60 days from the report which is issued. That is basically the issue date. One thing to be noted is that this documentation is the property of the firm, auditing firm, and it can make portions of it, extracts of it to the third party, that is maybe client or legal authority, as per the will of the firm. And the last element, monitoring, is says that there should be a design, should be a design, and it should be implemented for new developments, policies, and procedures for quality control, and the responsibility of monitoring should be entrusted to the partner or a third person within the firm for dealing with the complaints or allegations and for remedial actions. Now, SA 220 talks about the quality for audit of financial statements. It is almost similar to SQC1, but the only difference is it talks about the particular audit engagement, whereas SQC1 talked about the quality control for the firm which is performing the audit. So, in SA 220, it says that the engagement partner is responsible for quality of audit of financial statements and to comply with firm's system of quality control. SA 220 also says that the engagement should be as per the compliance with professional standards and legal and regulatory requirements, and the audit report should be issued which is appropriate in the circumstances. The elements of SA 220 are leadership responsibilities, relevant ethical requirements, acceptance and continuance of client relationship, assignment of engagement team, engagement performance, and quality control review, monitoring, and documentation. Starting with the leadership responsibilities, it is to maintain overall quality on each audit engagement. The leader is responsible to maintain the quality of every engagement, and the actions of engagement partner and members of engagement team shall emphasize on the quality, which is essential, and importance of quality, which says that the performance should be as per the professional standards and legal and regulatory requirements. The compliance should be of the firm's policies and procedures. It is responsible to issue an audit report which is appropriate in the circumstances, concerns without the fear of reprisal, which means the auditor is not of the fear that if it gives an adverse report, then the firm would reprimand him or just remove him from the duties of being an auditor, right? The second element is relevant ethical requirements. It says that there should the identification of the threat to independence for which safeguards may not be able to reduce or eliminate. The threats which are there for the firm are self-interest threat, self-review threat, familiarity threat, advocacy threat, implementation threat. These are the examples of the threat to independence. So basically, it says that this threat should be identified and safeguards should be applied. If the firm is not able to comply with all the relevant ethical requirements, then it should report to appropriate person within the firm to take appropriate action, or where withdrawal is possible and legally permitted, the firm should withdraw from the engagement. Now, moving forward to the third element, which is acceptance and continuance of client relationship, the firm should check principal owners, competence of the engagement team, the capabilities of the firm to complete the engagement within the stipulated time and with resources, and also check if the firm is able to comply with all the ethical requirements and significant matters which current or previous engagement have implications on deciding acceptance and continuance of client relationship. The fourth element is assignment of engagement team. The engagement team which is assigned to perform the engagement should be competent enough, should be capable to perform the Engagement. The fifth element is engagement performance, which says that it is responsible for direction, supervision, and performance. Who is responsible? The engagement partner. The engagement team should be guided to perform as per the professional standards, legal and regulatory requirements, and to issue audit report. The second thing under engagement performance is to review and document the audit evidence. And consultation should, of course, be taken on the difficult or contentious matters within or outside the firm. You will find that this SA 220 is very much similar to the SQC 1. It does not have much difference, but the sixth element here is the extract of the same point engagement performance which was given in SQC 1. So in SA 220, there's 2 points have been splitted out. Engagement quality control review is the sixth element, which is mandatory for listed companies, listed entities. It says that engagement partner should discuss significant matters, determine that reviewer is appointed. It is the responsibility of engagement partner that he determines that the engagement review is done by the quality reviewer and the audit report should not be issued before the date of completion of review. Secondly, the reviewer should discuss significant matters with the engagement team, TCWG management, and review the financial statements and proposed audit report. Also, to review audit documentation and significant judgments. Lastly, it should review the conclusions that are framed by the auditor. And additionally, the reviewer should review the independence of the firm, consultations provided by the consultant, external consultant, and lastly, if it is all documented properly, if there is any difference of opinion, it should be resolved as per the firm's policies and procedures. Point number seven is monitoring. It should be relevant, adequate, and operating efficiency should be maintained, and firm's quality control policies and procedures should be framed to ensure the monitoring requirements. And last element is documentation. Document the procedures which are performed, quality control review has been completed on or before issue of audit report or not, and the reviewer is not aware of any unresolved matters to believe that conclusions were not appropriate.